All right, guys. Welcome back. Today we have a special guest, CarnageSizor. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name right. But he was responsible for making the AoE healing deck with me on our last video that we did. So for this deck spotlight, I want to feature his deck. He has a really good Lushen and Tez deck that a lot of you guys have been asking for. So Carnage, you wanna say hi?
Oh, hey. I'm also in the Guild Superior, and me and Kai have been grinding it out.
Good enough for me. All right. Well, let's go over to the friends. Here we go. Okay, so I'm on your page right now with your profile. Pretty sure this is the right deck. So all you have to do is just explain your unit and the runes and what are the purposes. Starting with Rakan.
Rakan's just your beefy boy tank. It's good. He has like a high HP, right? Good defense. He's
hmm
here just to tank. You don't want to use his ability. He's fire, and that's a good thing because most people don't run the Finn, the single target water, so he'll be taking a lot. Energy runes on him to maximize HP.
Sounds good.
I don't have skill stones on him. Bernard, I'm using him as an off tank because he has like decent HP. Like you see, like he's at a 3.9k, right? And also you want the acceleration effect, which what most people use him for. I have the acceleration skill stone on him, and you want to run the swift runes on him so you get him out of one cost, so you gain mana more efficiently.
All right.
So we play Tess instead of Beretta, but you can play Beretta, but the reason we play Tess is you want to do AoE all damage in a dot meta to mitigate like Eleanor cleanse, right? So he's there at third, which might seem weird but Lucian's my carry. So Tess scales worse than Lucian, right? Because Lucian ignores defense. So while Tess is better at lower levels, Lucian is better at higher levels. And Tess is tankier than Lucian. So he's at 3k. He's even squishier than like my Bernard, but there's a 2 level gap, right? But as long as you get his skill off once or twice, you're helping your build come along.
And
Uh
what runes?
you run what runes do I run? I think I run crit. You
Blade.
want to run crit? What's that? Yeah, blade. You want to run blade instead of fatal because you want to take advantage of his passive. Do you remember what's called, Kai?
Uh. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know what it's called, but his passive basically allows him to have the elemental advantage in every hit. Well, not every hit, but his fire crush.
I think it is every hit, not just crushing blow. Yeah, his fire crush is the name of his attack, right?
Yep. Yep.
So then that's against everyone. You're gonna have a plus 15% crit because of his passive. So you want to make that even stronger by adding even more crits on him. So he'll be doing more consistent damage.
Yep, sounds about right. Taking advantage of elementals. All right, next.
Konamiya is great. He's tanky and he's like he allows you to play very flexibly. So in this deck, you can cycle Lushen for your DPS. You can cycle Eleanor for double cleanse or Wusa for double shield. And I forgot what else I have in the back. Can you press X for a second?
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that those are the 3 targets you want to cycle. Either Wusa, Eleanor, or Lushen. And you want to run Swift runes on him, so you get him at a 0 cost. So it's really mana effective.
All right.
Wusa, I have the purple stone for him, so he's a 4 cost for me, right? So he's even more effective. But even if you don't have the stone, I'd say he's okay. I'd also try running green stone on him if you do have it, so you can take more damage and shield longer. He's here to mitigate the AoE damage that the enemy team does. While Eleanor is better for cleanse, this guy's better for mitigating AoE damage. Also, he can also, as a secondary option, he can reduce dot damage. Even if you play him after Beretta, he'll still reduce the damage done, even if you don't get the counter off. So he's like a solid tank and AoE counter.
Okay.
You want to run energy runes on him to make him tankier.
All right. Sounds about right. All right. Let's go to Eleanor.
I think everyone plays Eleanor, right? In the dot meta, you kind of need Eleanor, so she's here to get rid of dots and heal you up. Energy runes on her to make her tankier, and I think that's self-explanatory. Now Orion is the clutch character, right? Like he's a core part of this composition. So you want to cycle out the key cards that they might have in their hand without giving them cards that to spam that are effective for them. So it's kind of hard to play around. You have to test it around and get used to them. But say they have 8 cards, right? And then they play 4 cards. Then you know they have the ones that they didn't play in their hand, and this is good to cycle Lapis, Wusa. Those primary are the primary targets you want to cycle. And he's late game. He beats Kun, Jean, and Lapis if they don't have like a what's it called immunity.
Hmm.
So he's also there for the late game.
All right, what runes you run?
I run accuracy because you don't want them to resist your stun. That kind of fucks you over. Like if Kun doesn't get stun healed up, and then that's not good.
All right, yeah, that makes total sense. All right, let's go Lushen. Last one.
So this is the core of the build, right? Lushen, because he's your DPS output. His damage skills better than Tessarion. And for this build, you will need the what's called what rune? The green rune, which reduces mana cost by 1. Because at 6, he's too expensive to be effective, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to run fatal runes on him, and so you want your fatal runes to have critical chance also.
All right, your spells?
Reckless Devotion buffs up the backline. Because I have Wusa Purple Stone, that's going to cost me 3. Legion's going to cost 4, and well, you don't really use on more late game, but this is mostly to buff Lucian, so he can carry you late game.
Okay, Giant Warrior.
Same thing, you put it on Lucian, and he just shits out damage, and it stacks with Reckless Devotion, so you can have both on, and then he'll have mana cost 3, and the rate at which the card cycles is faster when you have both on for some reason, so it's like he can shit out damage like crazy.
Oh, you're right. That's a attack up and 25 and 20% bonus attack. All right. All right, last spell.
A Vitality conversion you need because it's to prevent them from cheesing you with Vitality conversion. It's like the only answer to Vitality conversion is Vitality conversion. It also helps you get some AoE picks off if you need to. For example, if they have a Kamoon, Kamoon will always heal himself in addition to the weakest target, right? So he'll be the one at the most HP. So if you have a unit that's low, you can pop this, Kamoon's low, then you pop your AoE illusion, and then the Kamoon's dead. But this is mostly there as it's a broken uncounterable ability and it counters the other vitality conversion.
That sums it up. All right, let's go and get you the games. I believe it was the third one, right? This one right here
I think we
against
watched the was it the third? Yeah, 3 and 4,
Yep.
right?
The third one is the Lapis one, how you be a Lapis, and the fourth one is the AoE comp, how that works. So let's go over your Lapis one. It's from your
Okay.
user. All right.
So he has a McKean, right? So you're glad if they have McKean because you're AoE all. You're also the only units you're pretty much worried about are Wusa and Lapis. And then you want to play your Ryan around their Wusa and Lapis. Did you pause it?
Yep, I paused it. I just unpaused it
Okay,
now.
so Bernard first whenever you can, just to get the acceleration. Here he defends up with Bav, right? But you don't care because Lucian shreds through defense. I have a can you pause? I have a what's it called? A Wusa and Eleanor, but in this matchup, I'm not too worried about what he has. Ideally, I can Wusa the Lapis, but otherwise, you don't really need to be as aware of them. But continue. He's buffing himself up. Here, I want Recon Dice so I can cycle back and use Joker. He pops Wusa, right? So I don't want to use Joker while he has Wusa up. So I'm just playing Wusa to mitigate some damage. It's not okay. Pause. Phoenix Flame isn't as scary as you think, as long as it's not on your key targets. Like if it hits Lucian or your Orion, which you need for late game, you probably want to pop the cleanse right away to like Even though it does remove, it transfers targets, so you keep them alive for late game which you need. All right, continue. Here we're playing around the shield, so even though we're sitting at 10 mana, it's okay because we want to optimize our damage. And as soon as the shield's off, I think we go for Lushen. Yep. And to test. This is bad for him, right? He redistributes HP, so he dies faster to AoE all. Here I cleanse, get some heal, try to cycle back into my Joker. So he's played a bunch of cards, right? It's likely he had Lapis in his hand, and that's why you want to cycle it out. If you pop Bird, you get it back instantly, even if they counter. So Joker's gonna be on the next slot. We're not worried too much about the dock because it's late game and it's gonna end soon, right? So we pop Reckless Devotion, and then we start spamming, I think. See, notice he doesn't have his Lapis up, so we cycled it out, and now his Lapis is like one shot. We need to cycle again. Because he Vitality converges, we need to counter with our Vitality conversion. Because that shit's just bullshit. And even if he hits the Lapis, we can still... He's not, like, outside of kill range, really. Here, most of his units die. You see, two Lushen hits will pop the Lapis, even if he that's a hit. Here he spoils that we had immunity up because of our Reckless Devotion. And then we killed our Lapis, and then we just clean up with Orion's. GG. Any thoughts, Ka?
Easy game, dude. Yeah, for sure, dude. That was a pretty well played game. Not too much from my part. Alright. Well, let's go over the fourth game where you went over the AoE. I believe it was this one, right?
Yeah. So in this game, I made a lot of misplays, but I still come up on top, which shows that you can still win if you make some misplays.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely he also has a level advantage with you playing a level 7 Orion, so that's something for sure.
So in his deck, we see he has a Wusa, a Beretta, and a Thrain, and those are the three key targets we're worried about, right? We want to cycle, we want to AoE them when he doesn't have Wusa up, but we don't want to. We don't want to let them spam Beretta or Thrain. We want to have our Wusa or our Alnor up against those.
Hmm. Pretty high trophy range too, about the 3,700 elo.
Starting hand, we always burn on if get it. Here we have Wusa, so we have the option to counter, right? But he already played his Beretta right away. Pause. Okay, so in this situation, he might have Thrain in the back, right? So you don't want to counter, or you don't want to attack, because he might counter with Thrain and stun your unit because the Beretta's dot is up. It's only an early game, so we can afford to take some damage. But he has the skill stone, so it fucking hurts. But I think you do take the damage. All right, continue. I might have had an opening because he did play Megan to play my Joker, but here we're just waiting for the dot to tick down because he was going to counter with a Thrain. So he plays Thrain. It's not optimal here because I'm not dotted, right? So I'm okay with this. But he hits for a shit ton for whatever fucking reason. That's kind of bullshit. He crit twice. So we cycle back, play our AoE. We don't want to play Orion here. We can't really afford to play Tess here because you get countered and die. So we Eleanor and heal up here. And we can see the flexibility of the bird because we can double Eleanor. You get it back, so even if they counter. So he Wusa shields. We want to wait it out. We want to heal ourselves up. Now here's where I made a misplay, right? Because he had mana to counter Beretta, right? We want to cycle through our Joker, mitigate damage. And we want our bird to die. We start preparing with John Ward. That might have been a bit too early, but it's okay. Notice our backline's already really low, right? So it's kind of bad. Because there's 4 targets, the damage is likely to be redistributed. Here we have our giant war. We have immunity because Reckless is devotion, so he can't counter us, right? Notice how much damage he's doing. And this is very close game. I made like 1 or 2 misplays, and he had a good starting hand, but you can still win in this situation. As you can see, if you have both Giant Warrior and Rex Devotion up, it's a 3 mana cost, so you can spam even faster. The damage stacks does for damage, and that clean that shit up.
Yeah, dude, this Lucian comp you're running is definitely strong with Orion. I haven't had any trouble with any Lucian comp with the AoE healing deck that we build, so I was surprised when I have fought you 6 times and I only have a 50% win rate with you.
This one,
This one?
yes.
Alright. Ooh, he has a huge level advantage on this one. I'm surprised you win. Not bad, not bad. Must have done some great plays. Alright, let's get into it.
Okay, so here we see he has Ryan, so that's kind of weird. But if they don't use it well, that's bad for them. We're worried about Lapis, and that's pretty much it. We want to cycle out their Lapis or play around their Lapis and get the kill the Lapis. We burn our accelerate. Pop our AoE damage. It's good to counter. It's always good to counter. And here, because we have Wusa and Lushen, we have the option to hold mana in case to counter. But again, he also has Ryan, right? So maybe it's better to play. And he gave us back our bird, so we got another Lushen because of his Ryan. So he misplayed there. As you can see, Sofa doesn't do much if you're not playing a Lapis, right? It's kind of like a dead card. So even though he's Shannon's, right, your Lushen ignores defense, so you really don't give a shit. We counter, get our mana. We're okay with them doing single target damage. Doesn't really matter. I misplayed there. Here we need to. I think we need to cycle some stuff out. That's why we play Ryan. I don't think he played the Lapis yet, right? So that's why we cycle right before he gets to our backline. So we start procking our buffs. Defense up. We don't care because we ignore defense. This will reduce some of the damage, but it's okay. No, we just want to kill the Lapis. We cycle again. Hopefully he doesn't get the Lapis. Here we killed their Lapis, I think.
Yep, he's dead.
And I think we're good here. We're still worried about Jean and Kamin, but if you look at the damage, we just need one more hit, right? I think. So he Vitality Conversion. So once again, the counter to Vitality Conversion is Vitality Conversion. You want to hold it, use a second always. Counter, kill off the units. And now it becomes a one-on-one, and here's where your Ryan comes in this bullshit matchup. You just want to counter him when he attacks, so you stun him. Plays, I counter. I have a lot of mana, so I can afford to get the Lushen, damage it down, and still have Ryan. He plays invincibility, but notice he still has the attack debuff down because of Ryan, and it's fire in the water, right? So he does like nothing. He heals a bit. There's not much we can do about that. He plays, we counter. We play our Lushen. Rinse and repeat, easy peasy. He's okay. Pause. So if you notice, he still had a transfer at the end, right? And a lot of people are playing transfer because against AoE like and debuff comps. But in our deck, we're not really running debuffs besides Orion, so they just have a dead card in their hand, and that if they draw it early, it really affects their gameplay. Well, a bit. Continue. Counter. And it's GG, and that's how you kill Kamoon. And he had a Gene, a Kamoon, and a Lapis, right? That's the trifecta of bullshit, and we beat the late game.
Easy peasy, dude. You make it. All right, so yeah, that will sum up Carnage Scissors Lucian deck, Lucian and Tez deck. I want to say it's definitely one of the better Lucian decks out there with around 3,800 elo. So if you do want to play Lucian and Tez, I would highly recommend you to use his deck. His deck is pretty good. Again, I have fought him 6 times with the AoE healing deck, which we built to counter Lucian and Tez, but I'm still getting my ass beat half the time playing against him. So I don't know what. This deck is pretty good against me. So Carnage, you got anything last thing you want to say?
Okay, so the reason why this deck is good is because you deal with AoE with Eleanor and Konamiya. You deal with Lapis with Orion and Lucian, and you deal with Lapis, Jean, and Commune again with Orion at the end. And the Vitality Transfer can also snipe out Commune, but usually you use it to counter Vitality Transfer. It's a good like all around deck. It got me a 10 win streak from like 3.6 to 3.8. So this deck is pretty degenerate.
Okay, yeah. So that will sum up his deck. So don't forget if you need some help with the deck, you can always join our Discord, which will be linked below. You can send us a message. Carnage will be on to help you if you have any question on the deck, or I can help too if I'm free. And don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and of course subscribe for future content. I think this will be all for today. It's pretty late at night, so I won't be dropping another video, but stay tuned. I will be dropping another YouTube video tomorrow though, so look forward to that. All right. Good night, guys. Peace.
Good night.